How did Cory look today in his first practice back?
Yeah, Cory looked great. Good to have him back. We didn't do anything live, but he's feeling healthy, and we're excited to have him back.
Is he expected to play on Friday?
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
I know you talked about Rudy last week, but it's a new week, so I'm going to ask you again. How has he looked, and how has he been fitting in with the team as he's trying to get that roster set?
Yeah, Rudy's been solid. He's been around obviously for a long time. He's a skilled player. He's got good size. Picks everything up because he's seen everything over the course of his career. But he's had a good camp.
Has Draymond been able to do anything, or is he still just status quo?
Yeah, still rehabbing, but he's able to work on his conditioning and his body and stuff. So he's getting plenty done, but has not practiced yet.
How about Rodney McGruder? I know that he was in concussion protocol. Any update with him?
Doing better, and I think he's in the latter stages of the concussion protocol now.
But nothing on the court as far as contact things like that.
Not with the team. Yeah, nothing in practice.
Hey, Steve, I've got kind of a more granular question for you. You guys took 27% of your shots at the rim last season. That was by far the lowest rate of your tenure. Is that something you guys are going to focus on more this season? Obviously, it's based on personnel, scheme, all
Right.
that. You guys are going to be so much of a rim pressure team. But I'm just wondering if you guys are emphasizing that a little more leading up to the regular season.
Well, we don't necessarily tell the guys, hey, we want to improve our percentage, but it is something we always want to do is try to put pressure on the rim. And as Kuminga continues to develop and grow, and he gets more time, that number should go up. But if we execute offensively, we've never been a team that had a ton of finishing at the rim, other than I'm talking about from the center position, other than maybe JaVale and Bogut some on lobs. But for the most part, with Loon and Draymond, we kind of play inside out and obviously shoot a ton. But the more we can get to the rim, the better. Some of it comes from personnel, some of it is execution.
Coach, you somewhat touched on what I wanted to ask about. Kaminga and Moody, they both have developed a lot over the offseason. Do you see them having an even bigger role this season, or are you still just filling out the guys and the personnel to see who fits where when?
Well, they're both having really good training camps. And that's the important thing is that they continue to grow and develop, and they're putting the work in, and they have great approaches, great attitudes, and then this is a profession where it's a merit-based deal. Like whoever plays best, will get the minutes, and we got a lot of guys playing really well, so everyone's got to earn it.
Steve, I know you talked about this a little bit yesterday, but what were your thoughts when you first learned that the team was going to sign Garuba, and what do you think he can bring this season?
I was really excited. I've liked Garuba, the last couple of years watching him in Houston. He's got a little bit of sort of a Draymond Loon type game, not necessarily the most athletic, but really smart, good passer, good dribble handoff guy, excellent defensively. He's a very intriguing player, so I'm really, really excited about having him, as one of our two ways. And he's still very young. I think he's 21, so good young prospect, and I think this is a good fit for him here. Probably a better fit than Houston, given just how many young guys they were trying to bring along at the same time. And you look at our club now, we have a heavy veteran presence, and he can learn from a couple guys in Loon and Draymond who he can emulate.
And we talked all off-season about Dario's theoretical fit. We talked about it through the early days of training camp, but getting to see it on the court in a preseason game, despite limited sample size, what are your thoughts on, how he's fitting in here?
Yeah, Dario's perfect fit. He's been great. I think now that he's got his legs underneath him, he's and a feel for how we play. He's getting better and better every day. But we really missed that dynamic last year. That that Bielitsa Porter type player, big, who can stretch the floor, but still make plays, and good passer. That really changes the equation offensively when you have someone out there you can kind of run the offense through and can space the floor with a three-point shot. So I'm really excited about him.
Steve, you mentioned after last season, the way you saw from Moses in practice, him doing the little things, gaining more confidence, fighting for rebounds, really, really hustling. That's one of the reasons why he got some extra playing time in the playoffs against the Kings and the Lakers. Are you looking to see more of that from him, obviously, or is there something specific he could perhaps do to get minutes, whether it's being more aggressive with his shot, attacking closeouts, moving the ball, finding people on the drive? Just is there something specific he needs to do to perhaps become a regular rotation player?
Well, he's working every day on all of the skills that are necessary to become a complete player and a rotation player. So, last year I thought where he really improved was crashing the glass on offense. He did a great job of that in the playoffs. He's still learning a lot of the skills necessary to be a wing, a guard, who's going to handle the ball. And in our offense, there's a lot of movement. You got to recognize patterns. If Steph's in the corner and you're at the wing, you got to cut through and create that space for Steph. So that's an example of something we're working with him on, recognizing all that stuff. And it just takes time. This is a different game here. The NBA, it's not something that you adapt to easily right away, especially if with just 1 year in college. So he's still working on all that stuff, and as he gets better and better, with his recognition of all that stuff, then he's got a better and better chance to play.
Behind the scenes with Cory, what have you seen from him as far as like veteran leadership and mentorship for someone like Brandon and stuff while he gets back to the court?
Yeah, Cory's just a great human being. I mean, he's a great teammate. He's been through what Brandon has gone through already. He as a rookie in San Antonio, 1 year in college, he had a lot to learn, and but that was a great place to go, to be coached by Pop and play with that group, and so he can recount those experiences to Brandon, and Brandon can relate to that, and Cory's just rock solid. I mean, whether he's playing or in a reserve role, he's going to be a really important member of the team because he's always pulling for the group.
Obviously, Jonathan Kuminga's rebounding has been a massive emphasis for you guys, and he even mentioned it himself in the offseason and the media day. And so that's something he was really focusing on. Another thing you've mentioned is that he needs to get better as a decision maker and a finisher, catching on the roll, making plays in the short roll. What are you seeing from him in that respect over training camp and just as recently?
He's been rebounding better. He had 8 boards against the Lakers game 1, and that was good to see. He looked comfortable with his shot. He did a lot of good things in that game. So he's got to continue to work and continue to make the right decisions and play with energy, sprint the floor, crash the glass, all that stuff. And as he gets better and better with that, he'll play more and more.